Everybody wants to change the world. And that's good because the world needs to be changed. Unless something changes, then nothing will ever get better. Too many people, however, want for their circumstances to change, but they don't want for those portions of their lives that are at the root of those circumstances to change. And that's just not how life works. Nothing will get better without change. No part of your life will ever improve unless you're willing to seek to actively change that part of yourself or that part of your world that is responsible for why what you want to change is the way it is. And we all respect people who can change the world, especially in positive ways. And there's times when we think that the greatest power that somebody can have is to do just that. That the greatest power anybody can possess is the ability to change the world. But you're going to run into circumstances in life that you cannot change, and you're going to run into situations in life that you can't change because you can't always change the world. So when something about the world is making you unhappy, or when something about your life is making you unhappy, and it's something that you simply can't change, does that mean that you're stuck? No, you're not stuck. You are never stuck. Because the greatest power that a person can possess is not the ability to change the world. Because sometimes you simply can't change the world. Some things about the world and some things about your life simply cannot be changed. And that's just the honest truth. That being the case, the greatest power that somebody can have does not rest in being able to change the world, but rather the greatest power that anybody can ever have rests in our ability to choose how we're going to look at the world, how we're going to see the world around us. Because you can't always change the world, but you can always change the way that you look at it. You can't always change your life, but you can always change your mind. Now, granted, sometimes it's a lot easier to change the world around you than it is to change your own mind, but you always have the ability to do it. You always have the ability to change how you look at something. You always have the ability to change how you're going to think about something. After we have changed within us those parts of us needing to be changed, then all of a sudden, those things that are around us, those things that we just couldn't seem to change before, those things that we just couldn't cope with, all of a sudden, those things do become a lot more manageable. Over the years, I've come to suffer from a condition known as optic neuropathy, which is basically just medical code for you're losing your vision and we can't tell you why. Corrective lenses don't help. There's no surgeries, there's no therapies, there's no procedures. This is simply one of those it is what it is parts of my life. And as of my latest round of vision loss, I can no longer drive. I can no longer really recognize faces. I can't see depth. I can't even see well enough to comb my own hair in the mirror anymore. Do I get angry? Do I get bitter? I'll clearly never be able to hold down a conventional line of work anymore. My life is obviously irreversibly changed in some rather substantive ways and areas. There are clearly a lot of things that I've grown accustomed to doing over the course of my life. Things that I really enjoyed and things that truly meant a lot to me that I'll never be able to do again. What am I going to do? I'll admit, after my latest round of vision loss, I was depressed and I was seriously bummed out for about the space of a day. And at the end of that day, I simply made the decision. I was already in the process of making films here in Arkansas before my latest round of vision loss. So I guess that now I'm just going to have to become the blind filmmaker of Arkansas. And my incredibly talented and highly dedicated production team, God bless them, they didn't even blink or bat an eye. They just said, okay, let's go. And what we quickly discovered was that while there is an abundance of filmmakers and producers throughout the state of Arkansas, there just aren't a whole lot of blind ones. So people started sitting up and taking extra notice of us and our work. And now, today, I am the executive director and producer of Blind Man's Bluff Productions and Marketing Solutions. And my team and I, we're having the times of our lives. We're having some of the best adventures that we've ever had. And our work is moving forward in leaps and bounds all over the place. Why? Because I made the conscious decision that I did not want to simply sit home with my failing vision, collecting a check and feeling sorry for myself. That is not who I want to be. It's not the kind of life that I want to live, and it's most certainly not the kind of message that I want to share with my children. Because I cannot change the fact that I'm losing my vision. But by God, I can decide how I'm going to look at it. I don't have the ability to change the fact that I'm going blind, but I'm in complete control of how I'm going to approach it. And you will remember me. But you won't remember me because I'm great. And you won't remember me because I'm doing great things. You will remember me because I'm still doing what I'm doing, and I'm doing it in the face of all of the reasons that I have not to be able to do it. I'm still doing it anyways, and I'm not going to stop. If I can do all that I'm doing in the face of all of my limitations, then just imagine what you can do. Because you can't always change the world, and you can't always change what's making you unhappy. But by God, you can choose how you're going to look at it, and you can choose how you're going to allow it to impact your life. Because you are the master of your own fate, and you will decide what kind of life you're going to live. Don't put that off on somebody or something else. It's you. So if you're not happy within yourself, or if you think that the world around you is a crappy, miserable place, then don't spend your days simply sitting back and being content to be miserable and complaining about it. Reach down deeply within yourself, go to the true source of it all, and get busy. Because the greatest power always belongs to you. The greatest power, the power to choose how you're going to see yourself, and the power to choose how you're going to perceive the world around you, it belongs to you. Use it.
Come take a trip inside my mind, and you'll soon forget that I am blind. but I don't care, and neither should you. There's still so much that I can do. Yes, you're in for such a big surprise if you just take a look through my eyes.